Hey guys, I'm back. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, and I'm going to be spending the next few days trying to make update videos. I had to go back into the office because I'm not someone yet that just works in crypto. So I have another job and I have to make sure that I do a good job in that one so I can still doing my hobby of making videos. So remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that likes crypto, looks into projects. Some of the times I've gotten to great ones that have done really good, and other times I've made mistakes. I've been scammed a few times, but that's because I try a lot of new stuff. And I'm still out there expecting to try new things. I'm still in a few projects that have kind of turned down. But today we're talking about one that has been doing really great, and that's OurGlass. I featured this as one of my last videos before I had to take a little break for work, and it's gone up a lot from where it's been at this point, and it still to me is just getting started. That is why I'm going to keep talking about it. But make sure that you do understand that it's a reflect token. It's a little bit of a play on the meme economy, and anything that you decide to do with your own money is on you. It's not on me, so make sure you know that. And let's go ahead and look at the platform. So OurGlass, as you can see, I'm not a whale. I don't have a huge amount, but I have enough to have a little bit of fun with the game and play around for about the next few weeks with maybe taking a day off, taking a day on, doing deposits here and there, going ahead and claiming my daily rewards because I am getting to the point where they are enough to just barely justify claiming. One thing you'll need to understand, if you play the Lotto one time, this is not going to work out well for you. And if you play the ultra staking Lotto game, you need to be somebody that has a big enough stack to at least put in a few $100s over time. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting enough back in the daily rewards to be able to justify claiming it. So that's something you need to know. You need to be somebody who's going to go out there at least buy, I don't know, half as much glass as I have. You'll have to figure it out for yourself. But otherwise, you can't really get into the ultra staking part of this that has really pushed this token to the next level. You can, however, get into just holding the token. It is a reflect token, and your balance will slowly grow. You have to understand the total balance and how much is out there, and know that this, unlike most reflect tokens, actually has a lot of people that are going to be buying the token and possibly selling the token every day. You're going to have tokens being moved around in that way due to the game. Not 100% due to the game, because there is not a reflect when you do a deposit into it. But when people go ahead and claim rewards, when people go ahead and buy tokens to get into the game, or if somebody wins the jackpot, two people every day win it. I don't know if they're holding 100% of the hourglass. My guess is they'd be holding some and selling some. That's what I would end up doing if I were to win the Lotto. So you'll have to know that I have seen this token growing in my wallet faster than I have seen any other reflect token that I've ever owned. And I don't even own that much, but I still see this tick up on a decent amount. If I come back and check tomorrow, I'll probably be at 75 billion. So I mean, it's a lot of tokens that have been moving over the last couple of weeks. And how did they do that? Well, we featured the Our.glass ultra staking kind of Lotto token last time. So go ahead and watch the last video if you need to learn a little bit about it. But I'm going to be telling you some key updates, so you do need to pay attention in this video. So first, let's just go over the market cap. They're currently only at $8 million. So this is still a very, very, very small project. So you wouldn't be getting in super late, but you obviously aren't one of those guys that got in when it was nothing and it went up a whole bunch. So you have to be aware that I don't know if the token can keep its current trajectory and keep going up. This is something you're going to have to decide on your own. You're going to have to join the Telegram. You're going to have to look into the tokenomics. You're going to have to make sure you understand what you're doing, because if not, you're going to get burned, or you're going to make a quick mistake, and then you're going to think this project is terrible or a scam, and that's really on you for not fully understanding what you're getting into. This is a game designed for a long-term player with a decent investment, or a small player just to hold the token speculating that it goes up. Those are the only two ways to look at this. If you look at it any other way, that you're just going to buy a small amount one time, go in the Lotto and win, and that doesn't happen, now this project sucks because I don't even get enough to claim my tokens, well, then you weren't paying attention. Sorry. So currently they do have a burn address that is burned over 70 trillion tokens. Basically, they set up an address to be a burn address. So with every transaction that does have a reflect to it, a little bit gets burned. And so that's something that's pretty nice. It is a 50-50 burn, where 50% goes to the community and 50% goes to things to support the Hourglass project. Now that does include some of it going into a liquidity lock, but not all 50% goes into a liquidity lock for the token. And one thing to notice, at a market cap of $8 million, having $4 million locked into the ultra staking platform is pretty incredible. That means over half of the supply of the token itself has been staked into the contract when you talk about the market cap of the token. So that's pretty incredible. As I think we're going to kind of see that market cap kind of stay where it is, slightly tick up, tick up, tick up, and then possibly tick up a lot when people start to realize that if they want to, like myself, if I want to keep playing the game, I'm going to have to do another buy. I'm going to have to put another $500 in here so I can keep going ahead and doing my deposits until I get to a place where I don't need to do that anymore, because that's another strategy I'll talk about as we go a little bit further on. But let's go ahead and look at what else is going on here. You have the circulating supply, and remember, this was a fair stealth launch. It came out, they released all the tokens. The only people that got it a lot early are the people that were hanging out in the Telegram and saw that came out and bought it. I wasn't one of those people. That's why I didn't get in early. I have been profitable in this. I put about one BNB when it was about $400 in, and as you can see, I'm a little bit profitable. Nothing crazy, but it's nice to make a little bit of money, right? And now we'll go ahead and get into the Ultra Staking platform. So this is Ultra Staking platform. As you can see, like I said, there is 244 trillion glass in total funds sitting here. You can see the total amount that has been deposited into the platform. You can see how much has been claimed out of the platform. So there's that 4.7 million with actually 5 trillion. You can see how much has been claimed for the daily rewards, about 30,000. You can see how much prizes have been given out. It's about $43,000 for the last one that was given out. These are, I think, the daily stats that are sitting here. They do probably need to put in like a overall prizes and claims, because that's where the difference between this number and this number comes from. So you don't have that 4.7 million sitting there right now, I believe. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. As you can see, I have deposited 24 billion. They keep a track of how much you've deposited. I've claimed back 1.4 billion, and I could claim almost 200 million tokens today, and I have a little bit more time where this can go up before I would lose it. You do need to claim this every single day to get it. That is why depositing one time and then coming back 3 weeks later doesn't work. You won't have a whole bunch of tokens to claim. You do need to be an active member of the community. You need to be checking out the site every single day. I have an alarm on my phone that goes off 30 minutes before the lotto happens to make sure that I hop on my phone, hop on my computer, and I claim my rewards. Now I can do that because Binance Smart Chain is kind of cheap enough to claim $2 in rewards. I don't really claim my rewards for now. When this gets more up near like $5 a day, that would be when I could definitely justify on Binance claiming it almost at any time, unless there was something going on that the chain was really inflated. But when you do a deposit, you get your tokens claimed from the reward. So that's the way you would do it early on. If you're somebody that buys enough to say enter 7 days, just do your deposit every single day. You only have to deposit exactly 3 billion to qualify for the tournament. I'm going to be doing an example of that right now, and then we'll see exactly how much of the token, you'll see this balance right here reset, and then you'll see it jump up, because once you've done a deposit for a day, you get credited with doing the 8% deposits that happen on a day. Now this means you really should be buying your ticket at the start of the day. I kind of got messed up my timing, so I'm going to be buying 2 of these today, because I started buying my tickets at the end of the day just because I got busy and I wasn't making videos, as you know. So we'll go ahead and show you how it gets me entered into the pool for the lotto, and how they talk about here. So the lotto, how big the lotto is here. Right now it's 2.4 trillion glass. You have to remember that this gets split between the largest depositor of the day, and it gets split between one random winner. Now that overall metric is really cool, because with that idea, it gives the reason for a few whales to do big deposits that'll help build up the overall deposits and make the drips bigger and help support the overall health of this system. And one of the other things is you can't have a whale that just keeps sniping the way it works, the winning, because they have a little exploit protection that I'm going to go over in just a moment that stops people from doing that. But as you can see, they do show the largest deposit right now. He put in 841 million glass. Or no, billion. Sorry, that's not a point at the end. So he put in 841 billion. He's going to win half of this if he stays there. So he's going to have a profit at about 1.2 trillion. So he'll make about 400 billion glass on that deposit. Now, the one thing is, since they show today's largest, as we get closer to the end of this, another whale could come in and do a deposit on top of his that would be bigger than this one, and another whale could then try to snipe that whale. You see, this makes a whale sniping game at the top, something you should not compete in unless you have a lot of money and you don't mind the fact that your giant deposit might become just sitting over here earning you a yield back each day, but no big deposits for you. Now, one nice thing about being the first big whale is your deposit's going to be in there and you're going to get an 8% immediate back when the next guys do their big deposits. So that's a reason why somebody might go ahead risk being like what they're comfortable with as far as being a large deposit for the day early on in the day, and allowing somebody to come in and snipe them at the end. Because while those snipers at the end might win the largest depositor, they're not going to get those 8% bonuses for everybody that deposited before them for that day. Oh, we just had somebody do a deposit, so we're up to 373. As you can see right now, you have about a 1 in 373, so less than 1 in 400 chance of winning if you deposit at least $3 billion. That's been about how many depositors we've had each day. I don't think it's been clicking up much higher than that, so that's a pretty good chance to win. You would win 1.2 trillion glass today if you win, and that's somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 depending on the deposits for any given day. If they're enough to raise it up, and the value of glasses, it's been trending up, so as it trends up, those prizes get a little bit bigger. They did change this, so the prize pool might seem a little bit smaller because they were taking 10% out and 2 people were winning 5%. That ended up being just too much glass taken out of the overall lottery fund. It wasn't going to let the game be as sustainable, and people were winning too much. Like the whale game had too much range. You'd have somebody depositing 1 trillion and they'd win 6 trillion. It was just too much at the top. This is a lot better, where you're going to have somebody who ends up depositing somewhere around 1 trillion probably for the largest deposit for the day if there's a little snipe war at the end, or right here we'll set at 850 billion, and they're only going to win around 400 billion more. So the return on that risk is still good, but it's not like ridiculous. And if you were to deposit 3 billion and when you were the random winner and you won something like 4 or 5 trillion, that made you an instant like super whale and you won like an incredible amount of glass. Now you still win a lot of gas, becoming somebody that would have 1 trillion of them, but it's a more sustainable lotto because now they only take 2% and each person would win 1% of the pool currently. This makes it easier for it to last longer, for the pool to continue to grow, as there is always going to be more money going in here than given out for any day, in theory, unless we reach the end where 3 billion glass becomes so prohibitively expensive that not many people can play. But we'll have to see if that ever happens. So if we'll go ahead now and get into doing a deposit. I know this video is probably going a little longer. I'm a little rusty. So we're going to be looking to do 3 billion. We have to do this correct. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sure you do it right because you have to do the 3 billion in one transaction, or you do not get credit. Say if you did accidentally 300,000 and then you tried to go ahead and, or 300 million, and then you tried to deposit 2.7 billion to add up to 3 billion, that won't work. So you have to make sure that you do it right. You will notice one thing. There is the gas fee that you have to pay each day. So make sure that you're understanding you're spending a little bit of gas to put this in there. And then it is just going to take a moment. Binance is going pretty quick right now, so this shouldn't take too long. And we should see my deposit grow and my claim grow, and this should reset to almost nothing because the instant deposit that I get back on it is not going to be very much. So see, this dropped down to 33,000 because I did get a claim. The total deposit moved up. You see I'm now qualified for the contest. I'm number 374 that's going to be in the draw today, and I've claimed now 1.6 billion, deposited 2.7 or 27 billion. Now, eventually, you do get to a state, if you continue to play this, you continue to invest in it, where you might be able to start playing every day for free. I think that's the goal of some of the whales. Just do one big deposit, be getting over 3 billion tokens per day, and then you can just keep entering the lotto every single day, hoping to win, and you're just kind of free rolling, hoping to win a lot of money. Now, that is like buying one lotto ticket that you can just keep playing a lotto forever. And that's an interesting strategy. On the other hand, I bought just enough tokens, just one BNB worth of tokens. I'm going to play the lotto until those tokens are probably gone, which means there's a chance that I'm going to have 100% loss of that one BNB I put into this project. but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Most likely, if it goes up to a high enough price soon, I may buy one BNB back, or if BNB goes down, then I'm actually playing with my tokens for free, and if I end up winning, that would be spectacular. I'm hoping to have enough to get my 2% drop to be enough that I can actually claim it each day. So once I've had it all invested, I can be just earning a tiny bit of money back every day and deciding whether or not I want to save that up until I can do another deposit, or I just want to leave it. But see, that is how you would go ahead and get in this. There is a referral program. If you do click on my referral link and you do a deposit into this, then some of that 8% bonus that would get, the 2% that would be kept by the team is given to me, I believe. So there's a little bit that gets given to me on your deposit, as opposed to going into actually, I think it's instead of going into the Lotto fund, instead of 90% going in, 87% goes in. But that's just a way for us to get a little bit of a reward for going ahead and sharing this. So if you do use my link, thank you very much. Let's see. This is just the home page. So right here, I was going to talk to you a little bit about the ultra exploit protection that the game has. And this is basically to protect us from having a whales come and just totally abuse the game. And so what it says is that anybody that deposits at least 3 billion can win, but a user must deposit more than he has claimed in rewards since the first depositing to be eligible to win the largest depositor. And so what does that mean? That means if in one of the first days you snipe the top reward and then you claim those tokens, so you deposited, let's say 1 trillion and claimed 3 trillion, you can't win largest depositor again until you've deposited over your claimed amount of tokens, which would be 3 trillion tokens. So that person has to, in theory, stop playing the Lotto for going for the largest depositor. They can start depositing just 10 billion or 20 billion a day if they want to, until they build themselves back up past 3 trillion deposited, and now they can go ahead and try to play that sniper game for the top. But that keeps one whale from exploiting this game and winning it every single day. It also means that at some point we could reach a level where the largest depositor is only depositing maybe 2 or 4 or 500 billion tokens, instead of what we're seeing now with close to 1 trillion tokens, because eventually all the big whales may have won, and they're going to have to wait a while to decide if they want to deposit enough back into the game to be able to play that snipe to win again. So it's a very interesting protection to prevent somebody from overpowering it. So the last thing we're going to do really quickly here, and then we'll end the stream, is we're going to just look at the price. So my last video was a week ago, so it would have been about July 3rd. So we would have been right around here. So if you got into the project, congratulations. If you were already in it, congratulations, because we have seen the price go up quite a bit, about 60%. Now we're sitting up here, and we're touching almost right here. Now, just to give you a quick example of where this could go, I got to go to the 12-hour chart. We are still not at all-time highs. We are at a pretty, I'm not a chartist, but right around here at this this one, it almost, we'll call it the super sub penny, but at a solid 1. If it can get to that, then if it gets to that price, that would be kind of, if we can turn that into a support and head up, then we could start talking about reaching the all-time highs. This is obviously a token with a massive supply, but it also means that if a lot of people get into this, this could go up in price quite a bit. We could see this token fly way up high, but that's only if enough people get interested in playing this game. One of the things I will say that we have not seen is that we haven't seen enough publicity for this, enough of the winners talking about winning. I hope to see that start to get passed around a lot. If I do a video, if I win, that'll be a very exciting thing, and I'll probably do a little giveaway of glass tokens if I'm somebody who's lucky enough to win this. So other than that, make sure you follow them on Twitter. They are very active here. They do like to show off their game, that people are winning, that it's a small amount of people, and they're very supportive of members of the community that make content, so that's very good to see. All right, everybody, I'm going to end it there. Have a good day. Bye.